Naturally, Tolkien was a man of a different age, and of a different background, and of heavily traditionalist inclinations. He was also deeply versed in myths and fairy tales on an academic level, and he loved them deeply, and so his views were definitely influenced by that. These things we're talking about here weren't just stories, they were things precious to him. They were a part of his life, as well as the very cultures and peoples and languages he adored most. And these new adaptations of these stories were things never seen before, and this certainly plays a vital role for his dislike of them. With that said, let us finally talk of Snow White. Tolkien watched the film in 1938 alongside his friend C.S. Lewis, and they both disliked it. Lewis, while
Damn.
genuinely enjoying the art style and
Yeah.
animation of the
There
film,
you go.
did not at all enjoy Disney's depiction
Huh.
of the dwarfs.
Damn.
Too racist?
Are the dwarves racist?
I thought they were supposed to be. Or
What?
there's some theory that there is.
Oh, there's some fucking new age feminist theory that they're racist.
I can't remember why.
I don't know. I don't think that they were intended to be racist.
No,
But so I guess C.S. Lewis and J.R. Tolkien did like the art style, which is what the only thing I was complimenting on.
yeah.
I don't think that the story itself is that fantastic or the depiction. I don't know the original fairy tale though. Just
Yeah,
know,
I actually don't know the original well at all.
no, me neither.
But the fact that they both disliked it kind of speaks that they must have cut corners in some ways in order to make it more appealing.
If J.R. Tolkien is someone who's dedicated his life to studying old fairy tales, I think that he probably would hate Disney. For sure.
Yeah.
Because I think we've talked about this plenty, but they do whitewash and sterilize it to basically be mass appeal to a bunch of like kids and dumb it down.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, most like fairy tales are darker and meaner than like Disney would ever want them to be.
Yeah. It's I don't know if it's it just gets lost in time.
I'm curious though, like, what's the can you remember the argument that the dwarves are meant to be racist or what? I'm just curious.
I just remember seeing something, and I don't know. I think it was like a Jewish thing.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Huh. I thought
Maybe
like
I'm confusing like the people and J.K. Rowling's books.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The goblins are meant to be
goblins.
yeah, I've heard that one. Is that the
Okay.
goblins are a caricature of Jewish bankers in medieval times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. I believe that.
Yeah.
But I don't think the dwarves from yeah, I think you might have mixed those two up.
Okay.
Personally, because yeah. You know why that was? Why like Jewish people got the reputation of finance and banking?
Oh, it's because as a Christian religion, right? You couldn't like be involved with money in some capacity.
Yeah, usury is a sin in Christianity.
Oh, like lend or
Interest.
making money on loaning, yeah.
Exactly. So the only people in Europe at the time who were actually involved in much loans and banking were Jews because it wasn't against their religion to do so. So that's how we got the sort of Jews or money hoarders stereotype thing.
Yeah.
The point on which Tolkien agreed.
It's also a theory as to why Jews are more on average intelligent because like banking and finance is a higher field than blacksmithing or other kind of peasant farming. So
yeah.
So if you're basically your whole culture's industry is all about finance, that means that you're going to have a culture that incentivizes intelligence when it comes to numbers and making decisions on lending and such.
Americans.
What the hell?
No, I guess we're as a culture we're much broader than that.
Oh no, I was talking about like why Jews on average tend to be more intelligent.
Oh,
is because they were working in field. That's a theory. Is that they were confined to industries that were at the time seen as sinful, but also when you think about it, were probably much more intellectual than a farmer.
Yeah, I mean, without banks and lending, like you don't have modern capitalism, I guess.
No, yeah. But you don't have
It's
anything
weird,
without
like,
lending.
well, yeah, I mean, they say debt came before money, actually, in a
Interesting.
weird way, because you owed someone, so you had to pay them back in some capacity. So debt's been around a lot longer than physical money.
I subscribe to the modern monetary theory of like where money originates. It originates with the state. Like there's the more Austrian school that basically believes that money originated because we needed some sort of medium for exchange that was universal.
It just
But
made it
like,
faster, yeah.
yeah, that's the traditional view of where money comes from. But
Mhm.
the modern monetary theory is like, no, that's not what happened, because like what happens is that basically without the existence of a state, there is no exchange. So the money originates from the state.
Mm, a little more authoritarian.
It is, but it also means that like fiat currency isn't an evil.
Oh, the money was always there, it just got corrupted.
Um, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that.
Greed. In the movie, the dwarves are depicted as simple drunken fools that only serve as comedic relief
Racist.
and are completely different to the dwarves of Tolkien, this ancient and mythical people lost to time. In his mind, Disney had taken a concept that was very dear to Tolkien's heart and deeply rooted in
I
tradition,
see.
and he turned them into goofballs whose entire purpose of existence was being a joke. To Tolkien, what Disney was doing was commercializing something important to him into comedy, while also potentially hurting traditional fairy tales and even children's intellectual development alongside it. To us, of course, in the 21st century and the entertainment media that has been produced since, this may seem insane or an exaggeration. But you must remember that this is a man born in the 19th century who dedicated his entire life to these myths. In fact, as covered in a previous video, one of the major reasons for why he spells the word dwarves as shown on screen is in order to differentiate them from the increasingly popular dwarfs that Disney in part introduced to popular culture. In the
V is a much more masculine letter than an F. That's just a joke. I like if the spelling is a way to differentiate yourself from the more popular Disney version of dwarfs.
Mhm. It's
That's
more like
interesting.
triangular,
Yeah, pointy.
It's a power, yeah. Pointy.
It comes to yes, pointy is masculine, curves are woman.
There you go.
That's obvious. Everyone knows this. Jeez, Tina, get with the times.
Ah,
If you want to make your son like a future like warrior, you name him Victor. Or no, wait, the fucking C is a curvy letter. Make it Victor with a K.
ooh, the Russian way.
Yes, exactly. Well, yeah, there you go.
the years that followed the release of Snow White and up until the end of his life, Tolkien's opinion of Disney's works did not improve. And with every film that succeeded it, the phenomenon Tolkien first described in his essay became all the more apparent. A contributing factor may also be the widespread popularity of these films throughout the globe, and how this popularity may corrupt the creatures featured within, such as the dwarves, but also these folk stories in general in the popular imagination. This misrepresentation of the stories he loved so deeply becoming so widespread, in my belief, must have influenced Tolkien's opinions on Disney. In a 1960
It's sort of interesting to me that we've had a long conversation now about how Disney corrupted MCU and Star Wars, but literally feel like this is what's happening with Tolkien when he was watching Disney make
Yeah.
all the fairy tales into movies. Is they're corrupting the fairy tales.
They never changed since the beginning.
Yeah. Evil cannot create, it can only corrupt or destroy what has already been created.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they did give us nice theme parks, though.
I've never been to Disney World. Have you been to Disney World, Disneyland, or any one of those?
Disneyland, yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't been
Yeah.
to either. My sister has been to both Disneyland, Disney World.
Yeah.
I don't know of her opinion of which is better, but the common answer is Disney World is like 10 Disneylands.
It is bigger, yeah.
Right. But
I feel like Disney World's better for adults, from what I hear. There's
You
just
think
more
so?
options.
all right. Yeah, I've never been.
Disneyland's good for like a day or two.
Okay. I've never been to either. When did you go to Disneyland?
It was like 9. It was like my first big road trip. We drove down there and then drove back.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I remember 2 big road trips when I was a kid. My dad took us to the Redwoods one year, and he took us to Yellowstone another year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, our car broke down.
It's a
We had to
long trip.
stay in Shasta for a while.
Where is Disneyland? Is Disneyland near Los Angeles?
Anaheim, so I
Anaheim.
think
Okay.
just north or south.
Okay, but
I don't know the LA suburbs.
SoCal,
SoCal, yes.
as the locals call it. All right.
But yeah, it's crazy how this guy, I was already seeing it in the beginning, like, oh, this just doesn't seem right, and I had to write an essay on it. That
Well, it's
thought
the
it was
thing he's
wrong.
noticing is the same thing that we notice, is that when you try to commercialize something, you have to reduce it to its lowest common denominator because you need to
Mhm.
appeal to as many people as possible. And
Yeah.
there's in one view of that, there's nothing truly wrong or immoral about it, because if you're trying to please the most amount of people, that's not inherently wrong. But
No.
you when you take source material that people love and they cherish, they hold sacred to them, it can be very bad to those people. And that's how I think it's like Dragon Ball Evolution.
There you go.
Another thing that I will
Never forgive. Watch.
I've never seen it. But like
Okay.
Last Jedi is the worst movie I've ever seen. Dragon Ball Evolution is the worst movie I've never seen.
It's the worst movie I've never seen.
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball, and I feel like that is the most corrupted version of Dragon Ball there ever could be. I would watch it as part of like a drinking challenge or some sort of like meme or some sort of
Okay.
podcast. Would be fun if we did it together. I would do it for that reason and that reason only, but I'm never just gonna watch it out of curiosity.
Okay. Never, because you're on a plane and have nothing else to watch.
Yeah, I would rather stare at the front of stare at the wall for 5 hours than have to watch that movie. The only exception I'll make is that, like, if you and I watched it and reacted to it, and I got to drink in the same way we're gonna watch Kung Fury. We didn't do that.
You
Unfortunately.
needed something to add to it.
Yes, it'd be just be it'd be mostly for our commentary.
Okay.
I'd be willing to do that too.
Yeah, do like a reaction video on a movie or something.
We were also supposed to watch Kung Fury, but that never happened.
It could still happen.
Are you free Saturday?
Not this Saturday.
Oh, too bad. I don't
Yeah,
think I am either.
but it will happen.
Yeah.